Hey everyone, welcome back. This is episode 107 of At the Coffee Table Podcast. I am Jason Clake with my co-host Bob Kahn. Bob, how are you today?
I am good. I am good. Hopefully, you're not freezing your, what's this off in Syracuse.
It's like a balmy 35 degrees.
Oh, let's go swimming.
Right. And just waiting for the 6 to 9 inches of snow we're supposed to get tonight.
Yeah, it's like winter said, "Oh, you thought you were going to get away with something?"
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
right.
I
Nope. Now we
turned,
got a steady
turned.
stream of winter storms.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. So today we wanted to this title concept topic of this episode is social media. Is it a tool or is it a vice? And I kind of picked this up from another podcast I was listening to, and it turned on a light bulb for me. We were actually supposed to record this, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and well, life happens and pushed it off. But um, social media has become, in my opinion, it's become a necessary evil. It's become a necessary evil not only to stay in touch with people that are closest to you, but a necessary evil if you're trying to promote a business, you're trying to promote a cause, because a lot of and I'll relate it to what Bob and I know best in real estate. Real estate, traditional real estate marketing was print ads, billboards, radio spots, park bench, or not park benches, but bus stop benches, whatever it might be. Where really after 2016, 17 evolved into, if you were not seen on social media, you were unseen, because people, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go do a search on Google. They're going to go do a search on Facebook to see who they can find to bring a solution to maybe a problem that they have, or a business need that they have.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the best tools man has created. I'm not going to say besides the wheel, but the problem is, the good news is it's unregulated. The bad
Right.
news is it's unregulated. So obviously, like anything, the good people will use it for the purposes of service or promoting themselves or promoting a product. The not so good people are going to use it as a weapon, as found out in 2016 and how many other elections before that. Like you said, it's necessary. You really can you imagine if you picture walking down Manhattan midday? Nobody's talking to each other. They're talking on the phone or looking at a phone. How they don't bump into each other, I haven't figured out yet. My
Yeah,
son,
radar.
yeah, my son does that all the time. But if all of a sudden phones were outlawed, the world would freak,
Oh yeah.
because whether by design or happenstance, there people are addicted to them. What I find amusing and amazing is they still call it a phone.
Yeah.
I'm I'm rare. I actually still talk on a phone, but I can't get my kids to talk on a phone. Of course, if
No.
they're calling us to because they want something,
Oh yeah. Oh
then
yeah.
they. But I mean, first it was email. Now it's texting, and then it's TikToking and Instagramming and so on down the
FaceTiming.
line. FaceTiming, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like using the phone.
You know what I find is funny is the people that, like, I'll go into Target, and the amount of people that walk around, and you can tell they have their FaceTime on, and they're walking around like this, walking around Target, talking into their FaceTime while they're shopping. I mean, that's multitasking to and till it's to its fullest extent, but why?
Yeah, I remember the first time I either forgot my phone or misplaced it or something. I was because as a realtor, it evolved from your home computer. Well, first of all, the
Hmm.
computer wasn't there when I started, but let's pretend it was. To walking to your entire business was in the
On the
phone.
phone, yeah.
Else. I was beside myself,
Yep.
absolutely beside myself. And I actually got angry about it because I felt like I was addicted, and then I realized, hey, I was. But we know the good stuff. We know that it's fun to connect with people, and you can talk, and you can do business on the phone. And if you're looking for a boyfriend, girlfriend, pardon me for being binary in that, but you can actually work something out. I mean, that's good news, bad news. Me, I like meeting people face to face, like at a club or in a bar or just walking down.
Coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, I'm old and I'm a dinosaur, you know.
Listen, and I always joke that I come from the Atari era, but I've been able to watch, and we've talked about this about technology before, but of how everything's evolved, and then you look how social media has evolved. So social media has evolved from Facebook, which was developed by Zuckerberg when he was in college, so it was a college kids thing that matured into everybody from 10 to 100 is using Facebook. Um, then you have Instagram, which started out mostly as a high school thing and creating videos and different things, but that's matured to where everybody's using it. And then TikTok and Snapchat get created, more TikTok, and TikTok is like middle school and has since matured to everybody's using it. But if you remember when these certain things started, Facebook, it's a college kids thing. Instagram, that's a high school kids thing. TikTok, that's the grade school, middle school. The kids are just using it because they're doing dance videos. Yeah, and then you have Twitter, the dinosaur of social media that is still alive today, and Elon Musk has made it relevant.
Well, unfortunately, it's also created issues. I'll
It,
just leave it at that.
actually, it may not have been Elon Musk that made it relevant. It may have been our former president that made it relevant
Oh,
first.
Trump definitely. Trump definitely. He definitely was. I don't know if he was the first to really get known and elected, or was Obama, because he's the first one to really use his social
Yeah,
media.
yeah,
Again, good news, bad news, and we're not taking sides here
no,
on which side of the aisle you're on. But if what our government is telling us, and sometimes it's hard to figure out what's true, what's fact, what's
yep,
made up, that the Chinese, through TikTok and several other apps I was reading about this morning, are using it to gather data which would be used against us, whether it's militarily, economically. That's a problem. That's the evil part. I post my life thoughts on TikTok. I used to do my videos on TikTok. Um, one, because that's where it was made for,
yep.
but it does kind of raise a question: is because it's very addicting. If you've ever gotten stuck in real world, REEL, you know how addicting. All of a sudden, 20 minutes have gone by and go, what? Oh,
Oh, I know.
you know. Um, then I have to say, if they can, they're never going to prove it to us. They're never going to show us what they're talking about in terms of if it is in fact a data gathering thing that for the Chinese government. And the last so many years, trusting the government is not priority number one for
No,
people.
and you know what? Realistically, the Chinese have been gathering data on the U.S. for decades.
Tell
It could have
me.
been the simplest form of data to what it is today. To blame it on TikTok as an avenue, yeah, maybe, but this is why the Chinese are decades ahead of the U.S. when it comes to technology. That they've mastered 5G, they've mastered everything that goes into AI and a lot of that. And have they used some of the data they've obtained from other countries? Probably, but
But
like you said, how's anybody going to prove it?
yeah, sorry, sounds like I'm yelling. You know that old thing, don't point fingers because you have three fingers pointing back.
Yep.
We pretend to be the guys in the white hats. You know, we're the good
Yeah.
guys. Well, guess what? They think they're the good guys too.
Right.
And if for 1 minute you think that what we're blaming other countries to doing against us, we're not doing the same damn thing, then you
Right.
really are naive.
Yeah.
Um, we blame other countries for how they treat their citizens. Hmm. Kind of that pointing thing again,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I was just bringing that up because I was reading today the United States is thinking of not only they banned it in the government. You can't use TikTok on a government cell phone. No, no, no. And
Oh
there's three
no.
or four other apps that they're planning on banning. And now they're
Right.
talking about banning it nationwide, which only means that people will find a way to hack into it. So
Right.
that's stupid. And
Yep.
they'll probably got 10 times more members or users. But as a tool, I mean, excuse me. I remember we're sitting around the kitchen table, maybe I'm in elementary school, and I'd ask a question. I think I've said this to you before.
Yep.
My father said, you know, over there in the hallway, yeah, there's a bookcase. Yeah. And in the bookcase is a very expensive set of books. Yeah. Called the Encyclopedia Britannica. Go look it up. Hey, Dad, how do you spell? Go get a dictionary.
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
now that's all right here.
Yeah, now it's like, hey Siri. Oops, sorry, no, I was kidding, Siri.
Yeah, right. Because it will kick on.
And it's like I was curious the other day. What's the weather like in Memphis, Tennessee? We're going out there to see my daughter's show out in Memphis at the end of the month. The only way that we knew how to find out what the weather was is pick up the phone and dial operator in whatever city it was. So yes, is it a tool? It's phenomenal. I mean, somebody wrote a thesis, a senior thesis at Harvard, I think it was, using chatbot or AI, which is the same thing at this point.
Yep.
It's like, my God, I spent hours upon hours in the college library to gather facts and figures and bibliography
Yeah.
to write it. Bing, not only will it write it for you, it'll give you a bibliography. It's like,
Yeah.
where? So, I mean, that's good news, bad news.
Yep.
The idea I always thought, even though I didn't like it, was school is supposed to educate you, teach you, and learn new things so you can be a bigger, better, smarter person. So it is good news. But again, kids are, I've been reading articles, especially that there's a kid here in New Jersey and all over the country committed suicide from being bullied
Oh yeah.
online.
Yep.
The anonymity, is that even a word? Being
Anonymity.
able to be anonymous online
Yep.
is a better way of putting it,
Yep.
has given people a lot of chutzpah, as they say in Yiddish, balls, to do and say whatever they freaking feel like
Yeah.
without consequence.
Well, I part of one of my daily reels was about that yesterday. Was about people have gotten very brave on the other side of a screen, gotten very brave on their social media because they can say whatever they want and not worry about the ramifications, especially if it's anonymous. And it just diminishes your integrity, your character, your morals, your values, not your values more than your morals, when you are brave enough to say and speak your mind on the other side of a screen. I think that's the negative part. I think another negative part of social is like you were talking about before. You get into reels and 20 minutes later, now you realize you've been scrolling for 20 minutes.
Right.
I think for our younger generation, they're getting their instant gratification and instant dopamine hits because they're instantly connected and they get to watch and see different things that maybe they're entertained by or whatever. Even one of my daughters, she's 14 years old, and she's allowed two social media apps. The first one she chose was Snapchat, but she got kind of bored with that. So then, she was allowed to have TikTok, and she doesn't ever post on there. She's a good kid. She doesn't really ever post on there. But she will scroll for hours to the point where, her mom had to go on and put a timer on that after 2 hours of scrolling, it's going to kick off, because that's plenty long enough to sit there and scroll through videos and watch it. And for her, she's watching about makeup and dogs and whatever. But there's other folks that I know friends and stuff that will lay in bed at night, and they'll go to bed at 9 o'clock, and at 11 o'clock, they're finally done scrolling through different things. Me,
Yeah,
myself, I've even had to put it down. Holy crap.
every morning, give or take 9 o'clock, 9:30, I post my life thoughts like you
Yep.
do your reels. The only thing I look at while I'm waiting for it to post on Instagram or Facebook is my kids' stuff. See what they're doing. Like I said, we don't talk
Yep.
on the phone; we text. But when I hit TikTok, what's the first thing that pops up? Somebody's video, right? Well, I hit the plus on the bottom. I post my video. Now I'm back, and if that video is interesting, all of a sudden I'm watching it, and I go,
Yep.
and I still got to post on YouTube. Same thing on YouTube. And
Yeah.
now they put little vignettes of different shows that I like. It's like I
Yeah.
hate the fact that I can just they know. I feel like they're inside my head.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That algorithm that just says, "Aha! I
Yep.
know what you like, Jason." All stuff about pajamas,
I
whatever.
I heard on a Bobby Bones show on iHeartRadio. They were talking about the algorithms and Google and social media listening, or if you go in and you search Chihuahuas, all of a sudden all you see is Chihuahuas on your Facebook feed. And then they started joking about one of the female DJs was joking. She goes, "I just thought something the other day and it showed up on my Facebook feed." And the other DJs are like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean you put the phone up to your head and it thought?" She goes, "I don't know what to tell you. I thought it and it showed up."
It reads your mind.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
And so, again, whether the intention of the original creator of the cell phone meant it to become addiction or a tool. Because if you remember,
Well,
the
Apple
first
did.
cell phones were oddly enough phones,
Yeah.
which gave you the ability. First, it was the car phone, which had
Yep.
been there a long time, but now it was within reason. If you call $125 for 3 calls, reasonable. And
Yeah.
then it evolved into the walk around carry cell phone that started like this, and now it's like, tiny and foldable.
Right.
Um, when it was just the phone, it was cool.
Yeah.
I can remember I had I'm driving along, as I got to make a phone call. And I started to pull over to go to the payphone. I went, wait a minute, I have a phone.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yep.
Then they started expanding and getting better at putting stuff on there. Then it went to calling and texting.
Yep.
Then it went to emailing. I don't know which came first, the email or the text. And
Email, I
now
believe.
there's not much you can't do with this
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Not much.
Nope.
And what's next? I mean, they're starting to talk big time about indoctrination in schools and colleges. We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
When I went to college, were they usually bastions of liberalism? For the most part, yeah, unless they were really a conservative or a theological seminary or something like that, or a university that was started by a religious organization, whether Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Muslim, whatever. Now, when they started banning people at Berkeley because of their political thoughts, that's when I started getting pissed.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy's name, a young guy. He was a journalist and he was very right wing,
Mm-hmm.
pro Trump. And they said, the students said, we will not have a follower of or friend of the head of the um, Islamic Brotherhood. What is it? I lost track of what it's called. Um, that Muhammad Ali was part of and all
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah, yep.
I'm sorry, I apologize for not remembering it. They wouldn't let him talk at Kane University here in New Jersey. And then Bill Maher, because he jumped in everybody. They wouldn't let him talk at Berkeley. I said, this is a problem
Hmm.
because people are taking the First Amendment and just throwing it out the window.
Well,
We
look
the
at.
people,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but look at how ridiculous YouTube and Facebook got, after the last election in censoring, fact checking. We won't call it censoring. They were fact checking. And the amount of people that end up in Facebook jail or YouTube jail because they violated their policy on whatever. But it's such a subjective policy based on whatever agenda they were trying to push. So now you lose that little bit of First Amendment right because they're going to fact check whatever you're putting on there, especially during the pandemic lockdown.
as much as I was not a fan of the previous president and what he was saying, either you believe in free speech or you don't. Now, some of the stuff he said should not have been posted, because it's kind of like yelling fire when there is none in a theater and people getting trampled. Okay, but I only have one life to give, is Nathan Hale, and the ability to say what I want to say. Okay, you tell me who says stuff on social media that's 100% factual.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right.
obviously, at that point, Twitter was forced into, by less than unanimous consent, censoring Trump,
Hmm.
censoring Hunter, censoring that. Now, if you are using Twitter to foment riots, okay, foment murder, foment chaos,
If you're
okay,
breaking the law.
you're breaking the law. That's not what the First Amendment is about.
Right.
But it's like I have a lot of friends who are middle to up ultra right wing thinkers
Yep.
and you know in their politics, and I listen, and we all come to the conclusion that there's no way you're going to change me and I'm not going to change you, but damn if I'll not give you the right to say what you want to say. I don't
Yeah.
have to listen. It's like, you don't like what he's saying, turn the frickin' thing off.
Right.
you
Right.
know you don't like the TV show, what do? You either turn it off or change the channel.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
still have that right, but people are like, you know,
So on the positive end of everything, one of the more important things I learned over the last few years, especially being in real estate, was, you know, something like Instagram could ultimately become your website. That you didn't have to go create another website because majority of potential business will find you on social media, and I found that to be very true. Um, and like I said, it could be business, it could be promoting a cause, a nonprofit, whatever. You can ultimately make that. And where I found it to be true is like I was part of a real estate brokerage, and they were always, and this was probably 2018. It was, oh, we got to get your website up and running. And it was right around the time where nobody was going to go to a brokerage website. They were going to Zillow, realtor.com, and they were checking out social media for wherever the real estate agents were. And that's held true ever since.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Why would somebody go past the largest real estate website in the world,
right,
get to yours?
right. Yeah. And the thing, like I was just having the conversation yesterday, which ultimately, if you think about it, ultimately gave business no boundaries. It's not like you had to run the phone book and knock on doors and whatever in your little local area because you had to keep it in that local area to keep it manageable. Now you put it out there to the world, you could be doing business or connecting with people all over the world. So it's just making
Exactly.
connections.
It's no doubt. at first when the MLS went online, somewhere in the early to mid '90s,
Yep.
I was upset. Again, I think I started out as a dinosaur because I didn't understand it. We controlled the information. You had to come to us either through a magazine, a newspaper ad, word of mouth, or you saw a sign.
Yep.
And you were giving away information. But you know what? It made a smarter consumer, number
Yeah.
one, and less work for us. You'd have to be nuts as a realtor to get mad if they keep coming to you and say, I want to see this, want to see that, want to see that, and know more about it than you do because they're studying this stuff.
Oh
Sure,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
certainly made our jobs easier.
Yep.
Frustrating sometimes because, wait a minute, you told me that you wanted this and you want to see this. But the fact is, being a real estate agent is hard enough. Lessen the load and more time for service. So the internet has done amazing things. And does it need, here's the point, and this the public's going to have to decide, does it need regulating? Because it's a slippery slope. If we
Yeah.
start regulating what's being said, how it's being said, where it's being said, and it's not in violation of any country's laws, does that does that kind of start tasting like
That's a slippery slope.
autocracy, you know,
Yep.
data ships? It's don't tell in this country you have no right to tell me I can't say something
Right.
again within the boundaries of the law. Okay. Um, so is there bad? There's no such thing as 100% good, and I don't think there's anything that's 100% evil. Everybody's a little everything, but the internet is a very strange and wonderful tool. Can it be frustrating? Absolutely. Can it cause harm? Unfortunately, yes. It's
Yeah.
people are people. The
Yep.
same people that would sit there and come down on you in person now have an avenue to do it and spread the word. And you know, should you put bomb threats on there? No. Personal, again, the law.
Yeah.
But I, for one, would not like it taken away from me. Give me the choice and allow me the fact that I have intellect and intelligence to make a decision for myself.
Right.
And that's really the debate.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me what I am able to watch or not watch.
Slippery
I'm not
slope.
living yet living in a totalitarian country.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
my opinion.
Sure. And I think that's a good place to end. So, social media, tool or advice, it depends on which lens you're looking through. Is it better off as a tool? Absolutely. If you're using it as a vice to get those instant dopamine hits to push the political agendas for censorship, that's where it gets a little ugly. But there is some good that comes out of it, to be able to connect with people, family, friends, see, remember when their birthdays are, whatever it might be, seeing when they get married, see when they're building a house, whatever it is. Tool or vice, I think we're better off using it as a tool than making it a vice, and it's definitely shouldn't be a
Yeah,
weaponized tool for verbal assault.
true. I agree. And it's also in an emergency, it's a lot better than trying to pick up the phone or yell at your neighbor, help, help, help.
Yeah.
Here you can send it out to the world. Somebody's going to come a running.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
that's another
100%.
discussion. That's another discussion.
That's right. All right, everyone. Well, we'd appreciate it if you would comment and share this. Please let us know what you think. It's the only way we're going to be able to really grow this community, as we're trying to do with this tiny little podcast. But we hope that you enjoy our topics. If you have anything you want to share, any topics you want us to jump on and address, we'd be glad to hear it. So with that, Bob, go ahead.
As always, be nice, stay safe. Please laugh a lot. There's a lot you can laugh about. It makes life a lot easier. Talk to you later.
Care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great day.